Good morning. I am totally not on time today. In fact, it is 5:30 Cozumel time, 6:30 New York time where I am. My plans changed completely, and I'm going to be in transit coming from Long Island back into New York this morning at our usual meditation time. So I decided to record it for you before I leave. So without further ado, let's start. As we continue our journey to explore real love, as Sharon Salzberg calls it, I want to emphasize once again the importance of taking this process slow. I know we're all excited and maybe even impatient to learn what exactly can I do so that I feel loved and stop questioning my self-worth. But remember what Sharon Salzberg says at the very beginning of her book. Intellectually, we all appreciate that loving ourselves would give us a firm foundation from which to extend love onto the world. But for most of us, this is a leap of logic, not a leap of the heart. So what we're going to do in this series, or what we're already doing in this series, is not about finding a logical explanation why it's essential to stand firm in our self-worth to find real love, but rather about feeling into the basic and simple truth of the statement. And that cannot be done if we rush ourselves to achieve any particular result. Meditation practice is a process of self-discovery, unveiling deeper and deeper layers of ourselves. And this process into self-love is no different. This is what Sharon Salzberg writes around the subject. I have never believed that you must completely love yourself first before you can love another. I know many people who are hard on themselves, yet love their friends and family deeply, and are loved in return, though they might have difficulty in receiving that love. But it is very hard to sustain love for others over the long haul until we have a sense of inner abundance and sufficiency. When we experience inner impoverishment, love for another too easily becomes hunger for reassurance, for acclaim, for affirmation of our worth. Feeling incomplete inside ourselves, we search for others to complete us. But the equation does not work this way. We can't gain from others what we are unable to give ourselves. We can't gain from others what we are unable to give ourselves. It's important to recognize that self-love is an unfolding process that gains strength over time, not a goal with a fixed endpoint. When we start to pay attention, we see that we're challenged daily to act lovingly on our behalf. And most of us already do self-love to varying degrees. For example, simple gestures of respect, care of the body, rest for the mind, and beauty for the soul in the form of music and art or nature or whatever it is. These are all ways of showing ourselves love. Really, all our actions, from how we respond when we can't fit into our favorite pair of jeans to the choice of food we eat, all of it can signify self-love or self-sabotage. So can the way we react or respond to everything be self-love? Of course. As Maya Angelou said in her book Letter to My Daughter, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. I really like this line You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. And many of us start meditation practice exactly because we need to turn around this tendency to feel reduced by life. Still, it takes a special kind of courage to challenge the rigid confines of our accustomed story. It's not that easy to radically alter our views about where happiness comes from or what brings us joy. But it is eminently possible. We truly can reconfigure how we see ourselves and reclaim the love for ourselves that we are innately capable of. That's why it would really serve us to set out on this path in the spirit of adventure instead of feeling that real love is a pass-fail exam that we're all scared to take. Although love is often depicted as starry-eyed and sweet, love for the self is made of tougher stuff. It's not a sappy form of denial. You might still feel rage, desire, shame, like everyone else in the world. But you can learn to hold these emotions in a context of caring. Real love allows for failure and suffering. All of us make mistakes, and some of those mistakes are consequential. But you can find a way to relate to them with kindness. No matter what troubles have fallen on you or what difficulties you have caused yourself or others, with love for yourself, you can change, grow, make amends, and learn. Real love is not about letting yourself off the hook. Real love does not encourage you to ignore your problems or deny your mistakes and imperfections. You see them clearly and still opt to love. All right, now we're gonna do a practice, and I see that Yanni, you joined me. I did not expect anybody to join. I was just saying at the beginning that my plans changed and I'm going to be in transit from Long Island to New York at our usual practice time. But that's why I decided to go live earlier just to record it for everybody. But of course, you being the early bird, we're here together. So if you're still here, let's practice together. Take a comfortable position. Sorry. And take a few moments to settle. As always, settle into your body, into your heart, your mind. Settle into this moment, right here, right now. Let your breath be nice and soft, completely natural. Feel your body breathe itself in and out. In and out. No struggle. Letting all the experiences of the present moment flow through you as energy. All the physical sensations, thoughts, emotions, as a flow of energy. See if you can get a sense of spaciousness in your breath. And now start repeating after me silently or out loud. May I feel loved. May I feel loved. May I feel loved. As usual, I'm going to be silent for a little while now. And you just continue with this phrase. One phrase. May I feel loved. Over and over again. Making enough space, enough silence in between the phrases so that it's a rhythm that's pleasing, soothing to you. And I just want to remind you that it's completely okay if you don't have any particular feelings when you do this. Remember, you don't need to manufacture or fabricate any special feeling. The power of this practice comes from our full, kind, wholehearted presence behind each phrase. The power of this practice comes from being willing to pay attention. So as you continue repeating the phrase, simply pay attention to what arises. Thoughts, emotions, physical sensations. May I feel loved. When your attention wanders, which it does inevitably, simply come back to the phrase. Come back to the process. Don't worry about anything. It happens all the time. Our mind gets distracted. No big deal. May I feel loved. And now repeat the phrase one more time, giving it your full attention. And then let go of the practice gently. May I feel loved. As always, after the practice, scan your body. Notice what's going on for you right now, physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you, really? And as you go through your day to day, continue with this basic loving kindness practice as we have been doing for the past several days. Simply repeating, may I feel loved, and noticing what arises in you in response to that phrase. Nothing more, nothing less. Slow and steady wins the race. Enjoy. I see Gina joined also. Gina, I was telling Yanni now that my plans have changed and I'm going to be in transit from Long Island to New York at our usual meditation time. So I decided to come live early and just record it for you guys and then tag everybody. Of course, not expecting that anybody will be up so early, but two of you are. And Gina, since you joined like in the middle of it or towards the end of it, just you can watch the recording. I know, well, I'm so happy that somebody was here live, but you guys didn't join at the beginning, so you may watch from the beginning of the recording because there's some interesting gems from Sharon Salzberg's book. But in any case, to all of you who are here now in recording or live with me, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow from New York. Enjoy.